Welcome to Cooking with Andrea. Super excited. I am making a Salisbury steak. It's got a beef and turkey mix to it. I had a pound of hamburger here in my freezer because I separate my pounds. I took half out and I put it here in my bowl. So I'm going to just go ahead and move this so you can see. Okay, and here's a pound of turkey. So what I'm going to do is just take it out and put it right in and get it mixing. Okay, I'm just going to put my hamburger in the refrigerator. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and get this mixed. I'm going to mix with my hand. It's easier. I'm just going to take and incorporate some of the turkey and the actual hamburger. My turkey's real lean, but okay, for my Salisbury steak, the reason I take both is because I feel that's the texture. I don't feel it's just turkey. I don't feel like it's beef for sure, because we eat a lot of, hamburger steaks here at our house. We like hamburger steak. Like we grill them. Most of the time we grill. I don't really fry them in the pan or anything like that anymore. So going to give it a little wash. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to start my pan at 300 while I'm mixing the meat. I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of butter and some olive oil because I'm going to drop my mushrooms in and let them start cooking right now. So I have one thing that's kind of cool is I didn't want to keep you guys on camera longer than I had to. So I took these same 2 mushrooms and already cut them. I cleaned them and cut them. Remember, always clean your veg, and I'm just going to go ahead and let them cook. I have my pan on 300 and because I do believe mushrooms need to cook. And that's just going to be for my toppings tonight. I'm not going to do any grilled onions for my topping because I am a puree girl. I cannot eat an onion that's not pureed. And my family, because there's going to be great onion flavor in here, they're fine with it. They have no problem. So I've got my 1.5 pounds of mixed burger meat here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take 1 teaspoon of beef bouillon, which I have all my seasonings here. So this is what I use for my seasonings. Beef bouillon, 1 teaspoon, 2 teaspoons of ground mustard, 1 teaspoon of thyme, and these are my breadcrumbs I'm using. I used a 1/2 cup. So we're good. I'm just going to take and put this all in here together and start mixing in a few minutes. Okay, I'm going to give my mushrooms a quick little stir here. I'll put them over here so you can see them just a little bit, but that's not the star. The star is my Salisbury steak. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add my onion. And I like the pureed onion in this dish like I do a couple other dishes just because I get more flavor. This kind of reminds me of how when you go to buy like the Vidalia onion burgers, you can get them at Walmart, anywhere, I don't know anywhere else you can get them here in our town. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give this a quick little mix. Just like this, okay? Because what I want is my patty to be sticky. Just don't throw it on your counter like I did. Actually, it doesn't work when you're trying to be fancy or politically correct and not use your hand. Okay, so I'm going to take an egg. That's going to be my binder. And I'm going to take my breadcrumbs. And I'm just going to do it all in one shot. Okay, so I wanted to explain my onion, because I did my mushrooms. That's what went into my pan. I have my 3 pieces of garlic. That's what was in my puree. So it was this onion and 3 garlic pureed. So we are good to go. Okay, so I'm going to start mixing. And because I use beef broth, I have a lot of good salt seasoning, so I'm not adding any salt, but I did add a half a pepper. I'm sorry, I forgot to finish explaining my seasonings. It was pepper too. That last one was pepper. So it's a half a teaspoon of pepper, 2 teaspoons of ground mustard, 1 teaspoon of thyme, and 1 teaspoon of my beef mix. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I am going to go ahead and continue to mix this up. I'm going to take my mushrooms off and we're going to check our potatoes, and then what we're going to do is we're going to come back and we're going to start frying our patties. Welcome back. Okay, couple things happened here. I went ahead and took the boiling potatoes out and I gave them a rustic smash. A rustic smash means I did not use my mixer. I just went ahead and used my potato press. Came out great. We got salt and pepper and butter on them. Absolutely excellent. Today I just used a packaged gravy, a McCormick's packaged gravy. That's all I used. I didn't want to do anything special. Today my star is my Salisbury steak. I'm going to be serving some green beans, and our mushrooms came out. Now, guys, I only did 2 because I'm making this for my dinner. So I wanted to just do 2 so that when I go ahead and make this in a little while, everything will be nice and fresh for my family. The potatoes I used today were Bella, the red potatoes. I took about 2 potatoes per person this size, and for 3 of us, this is the portion, plus somebody can take some to work. So that's what my thought was today. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I wiped out my pot, my pan, and I'm going to add just a little bit of canola oil. Not much, but you know, turkey meat doesn't have a lot of fat, which is fine, so I don't want anything to burn. And I can adjust my pan. I have my pan only at 300 right now because I don't want my meat to boil, but my pan is very hot. Okay, so this is a Salisbury steak I'm making. It's supposed to be a little bit on the sticky side, which is good. Now, when I was growing up, Salisbury steaks were square. And I'm just going to throw the brand out there. I liked Banquet. And then, you know, as we got older, you know, we stopped eating, you know, TV dinners. We learned that they weren't the best for you. So I'm like, how do I make a Salisbury steak? Well, I used to try and make it with ground beef, but you know, we eat a lot of beef patties in our family. We like hamburger steaks. You know, breakfast with eggs and potatoes, or for dinner. So what I wanted to do, and what I'm doing here is I'm mimicking. You know, I should take if my Mississippi press was bigger, this size, then I could take and press it that way. But see how my ground turkey's a little bit, its texture is different than patty. So, ground beef patty. And so for me, Salisbury steak is supposed to be a soft meat, but a good meat, and this is the way I make it. The seasoning is fantastic, and this is the texture that I want because I don't want to eat a ground beef patty. If I wanted a ground beef patty, I would make a ground beef patty. So this is how I make my Salisbury steak, and it is so delicious. It took me a long time, though, to realize that I needed to do more turkey than I did ground beef. And at first I was like, oh, how do I make a Salisbury steak? And all I was using is ground beef. Then I learned, oh, I have to do turkey. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and do 2 right now. And then this way you guys can see it. But this is my Salisbury steak. Okay, we're going to give a wash to the hands. Okay. So for me, Salisbury steak is very different than my hamburger patty, which I love. Because, like I said, we eat hamburger patties, hamburger steak, you know, and we like them. And we eat hamburgers as well. And so this texture is amazing. I love it. And that's why I say it is actually the closest to a Salisbury steak that I've eaten in a long time. And so that's why I wanted to make them for you guys. They're really, really good. I'm just going to check the bottom side. Okay, they're not as sturdy as a hamburger patty because you know that beef just sticks everything together. I'm not going to salt them at all because I have put the bullion in. I had tried one earlier. They're delicious. I made them many times before. They're always delicious, and like I said, the texture is the closest thing that I can compare to a Salisbury steak. And I've read lots of recipes, and they're probably about the same as what I'm doing. And they're good though. Like I said, when I want a hamburger steak, I'll eat a hamburger steak. And when I want a Salisbury, I'll eat a Salisbury. But that to me looks like what I used to eat as a kid. Absolute yum. And so I'm going to go ahead and get these fried up so I don't keep you on camera too long. I'm just going to flip this one so you can see it. Although, you know what, it's not really ready yet. So I'm going to go ahead and get these ready for you. And we're going to come back and plate together. Okay, welcome back. Okay, I have one patty here that we're going to take off. We're going to try this one because we're going to decorate the plate. But I want to try this. So I basically did a scoop of our mashed potato. And I just did a few of our green beans. So now what we're going to do, and look at how the patty came out. The patty came out absolutely excellent. It is a mimic, honestly, of a Salisbury steak. So if you don't like Salisbury steak because of the texture, the flavor is there, the thyme is there, everything is good. But if you don't like it because it's not firm enough like a ground beef patty, then this would not be the dish for you. But if you like and you know what a Salisbury steak is, this is a good dish. This is a good dish for you. You will like this. Okay, so I'm just going to pick up some of our mushrooms and I'm just going to place them like this on your patty. This is a good patty. I grew up eating Salisbury steak, so I love Salisbury steak. I'm just going to do one little more mushroom and we are good to go. And then I would like to go ahead and taste. I'm going to leave this one for a picture, but I'm going to taste this. I already tasted the potatoes, but you wouldn't have to twist my arm to taste the potato again because you know me, I love potatoes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break it open for you because I want you to see the texture. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a bite. So delicious. But like I said, I grew up eating Salisbury steak. It tastes fantastic with gravy. Oh, and like I said, I didn't salt it anymore because the gravy is salty. But at most you would add salt and pepper because like I said, I did use a teaspoon of beef bouillon. So if you like the content of my Salisbury steak, mashed potatoes, and some green beans for a dinner concept, something different, I'd appreciate if you would like, share, and subscribe. I want to tell everybody thank you, my subscribers. You're awesome. You guys got me to 451. So I'm so grateful and I'm so thankful. I appreciate you all, and I hope you all have a blessed week. Thank you.